Nouveau rollers, and I'm just going to give you a couple tips on what you want to do. What you're going to see is on each roller, the black velvet is protected. So you're going to take these off before you turn it on. Then you're going to go ahead and push the power button on. And as quick as about 3 to 4 minutes, it'll be ready to go. You'll see that the top light will go white. They'll start as red. Once they go white, then you know they're heated and ready to go. The clip is very easy. You just push the button, put in, so that this way when you roll it in, clip it on your hair, take the button out, and go for your next roller. Also, you have your directions that not only tell you how to turn everything on, but give you really great instructions as far as good ways to wrap, how to wrap to get different looks. So Christy's going to start right in the front with her bang section. So you grab your section and you're going to pull forward like towards your nose, right? Because that over directing always gives you a little bit more volume. Put it in just like a brush, get those ends in, and then you just simply roll down. So we'll put her clip in first, which I think makes it a little easier, and then pushes the button to take out the handle. Now with the handle, she'll go ahead and get another roller in. The great thing about using the Nouveau rollers is you don't have to be perfect. Just take your sections. I like to lift and over direct a little bit because it gives a little more volume, but if you're not looking for volume, you don't have to do it that way. And you just roll down in. The soft velvet, the black velvet, really gives the hair a nice, soft, natural type of wave and curl. If you've never used rollers before, the handle really, really helps you. Just use it like you would be using a round brush when you're blowing your hair out. So it lets you know what direction you would be putting that roller, because that is a question that I would get a lot, like which way am I putting it in? And in this case, you would just be putting it in just like you would roll your brush. You can take smaller sections for a little more curl, or bigger sections for less curl, more volume. The heat lasts about 15, I would say, so you can leave them up to 15-20 minutes easily. If you have really resistant curl, go ahead and leave them in at least the 15-20 for sure. This way they have a chance to cool. So my hair is freshly cleaned. I just blow dried to get it dry so that I get the volume and body and the shine and the fullness and style from the rollers. If you're going to wash your hair, that's great. If you're going to use it on second day hair, that's great as well. But you just want to brush through first. So you just want to get, if there's product in your hair, brush that out. And if there's any knotting or tangling, we're going to brush that out as well. I'm going to use the larger ones on top. I just put the handle in because it makes it easier. Just grab my section. And I'm just going to go for volume and fullness. So I'm actually going to over direct this forward a little bit. Make sure those ends are in and roll down. I'm going to put a clip in before I take the handle out so that this way it'll stay in. And I'm just going to go right back section by section using, like I said, there's a couple of different, there's two sizes. And I'm using the larger size on top just to get maximum volume. It's as if you were using a round brush on your hair, but instead of you having to do the work, the rollers are going to do the work for you. You don't have to be real neat about it. You just put them in as you go. I'm going to go over here to the side where my hair is long and put this roller in. I just like to make the ends go in nice. So literally you're just rolling in, somewhat neat, but not, you don't have to worry about it being perfect by any stretch of imagination. If you feel the heat of the roller is too strong, just loosen up the clip a little bit. Sometimes I wrap it too tight and then I can feel the roller on my head. So just loosen that up if you're feeling that. The heat lasts about 20 minutes in the roller, or 15 I would say. So you can leave them up to 15-20 minutes easily. If you have really resistant curl, go ahead and leave them in a little bit longer, maybe, you know, at least the 15-20 for sure. This way they have a chance to cool. So the great thing with the Nouveau rollers, the black velvet, keeps it real soft. So you're not going to get that, you know, stiff curly-Q kind of curl. It's a lot of volume and body instead. And so I've had them in my hair for maybe 3 or 4 minutes, which is enough for my hair. So I'm going to start to take them out. And as you see, I didn't even do all of the hair because I'm going to go for a look that's just more like a blowout. And the sides of my hair is very short, so I just didn't even go to put them in. If I would have put rollers everywhere, I would have had a much more voluminous look. But that's what I love about the roller. You can put it in just to get volume and body. You don't always have to use it for curl. The edges are cool, so it's easy to handle them as well. Because I have the body in there, I can brush it. So now I got the volume back into my hair, and it's going to give me great hold. I would finish up with either my embellish to texturize it a little bit, and then a little bit of spray so that I can have this fullness and this volume in it and let it last for me for the day, probably until tomorrow.